Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the summary for the day of 272 for the 22nd of November. Let's start off with the southern front. Particularly there is a reports of drones operating around the Black Sea near Sevastopol as well as near Vespatoria as well as Novofedorivka. This is likely to be attempted drone strikes. All these drones, reportedly Ukrainian drones, have been shot down by the Russian air defense in the area south of Vespatoria as well as from the western side of Novofedorivka. Particularly at Novofedorivka, this is actually an air base, Russian air base. You can see, so no, this might be one of the targets for this drones attack. And further near to Sevastopol, there is also drones getting shot down. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, they said 5 drones were shot down. It's unsure if the drones referring to both areas of drones or purely only on the one near Sevastopol. So that's all from the Crimea and the southern front. We don't have anything else over here at the southern front. And moving on to the Zaporizhzhia line. At the very end of the Zaporizhzhia line over at the Velika Novosilka region, we have continued fighting at Novodarivka. And according to the Russian Defense Ministry, the fighting is actually to defend against recon troops from the Ukrainian side, sabotage and reconnaissance group. So it's the DRGs, the Deep Reconnaissance Group, trying to infiltrate and try to find a weak point in the Russian defense. They got spotted and they were reportedly fighting over there. There is no more fighting reported over at the Velika Novosilka region. And moving on to the Donetsk front, the Ukrainians continue their counter-offensive over at the Palivka region. So this is Voleda and this is Palivka. And there is fighting reported both on the 22nd and on the 23rd at Palivka. And there is also shelling reported at Voleda. So there was fighting over at Palivka, as the Russian Defense Ministry said that they repulsed an attack. The reserve or reinforcement coming out from Voleda region got spotted and then they got actually attacked with preemptive fire, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. And they reportedly was destroyed, but of course, this is just a report. Don't really believe that. Probably they got spotted and then they just abandoned their mission and retreat back into the safety of the city itself. So that's all from the Palivka region. And there's no fighting reported at Novomykhailivka, and the other parts of the Ukrainian counteroffensive seems to has fizzled out. And over at the Marinka, fighting continues to be reported over at Marinka. Reportedly, the front line is still around this area here where there is a school here. I think this is the school. Not exactly sure, but on other maps, those Russian sources, they mark it as around here. And moving on, there is also fighting reported at Krasnohorivka, at Nevelsky, Povomaysky, and Vodian. So at the Pisky region, the most significant was the Ukrainian report of fighting at Jevene. According to the translated one, they call it Severnoye, but it's actually Jevene. So this likely to be coming out from the Russian forces from Opine moving towards Jevene. And it's unlikely to be at Vodian because the Russian forces have not captured the full entirety of Vodian yet. So most likely it's coming here. It's definitely not near the town or the village just yet. Probably just in the region here. And further up north, there is fighting reported at Bakhmutivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. And that's all from the Donetsk front. Over at the Bakhmut front, fighting returns to Kryomivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and there is fighting reported at Bakhmut. As per usual, I believe that the fighting is actually in the southeastern part of Bakhmut city, and there is no fighting reported at Soledar region, but most likely the fighting is positional. And moving on to the Siversk front, on the northern part of the eastern front, fighting is reported at Berestove, which is the first report of fighting in this region for probably a week. And moving up north, there is continued fighting reported at Sperne, and the Luhansk People's Republic forces resumed their attack on Bilohorivka, as per reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry that they are defending against a Russian offensive. And further up north in the Kreminna region, so this is Liman, Krasny Liman, this is Kreminna. And in the Kreminna front, in today's report, the Russian Defense Ministry reported that the Ukrainians attempted to attack towards Chervonopopivka, which is actually here, Chervonopopivka, and the Ukrainians are trying to attack towards Chervonopopivka. It's a company level tactical group, so a few hundred people, I guess 200 or 300 people. This is ongoing. The last fighting was reported on the 21st. There is no reports of fighting towards Chervonopopivka yesterday. So this is reported today. Just before I wanted to start my recording, the Russian report for today just dropped. And usually for the Russian report, I will put the date as today. If the report is today, it's reported, I will put the date as today, because the report is a noon report. So when they do noon reports, sometimes they include fighting or information coming in the morning. So which is why I think it's just safer to just put it as today. And moving up further north, there's no more fighting along this entire line from Kivka all the way up to Myasozarivka. At Stemerkivka, there is fighting reported at Stemerkivka, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, where they said that they defended against a Ukrainian attack, and there is continued fighting over at the Kuzimivka region, particularly over at Novoselivske, where there's fighting reported yesterday and today, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Further up north over the Kupiansk region, we did not have any information of any fighting around this region. Moving on to the Kharkiv front. At the Kharkiv front, there is fighting reported at Zaporizhzhia. According to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, there is recon troops from the Russian side attempting to infiltrate into this region, and they were so-called neutralized by the fire of the Ukrainian unit. So this is part of another series of incursions by the Russian forces into this region, and particularly over at this salient here around Sereda. This is where is most activities of this kind of recon forces, recon activities operations, as we previously have reported DRG operations in Zeline and Ternova, and this time round we had this at Zaporizhzhia. The only other one was reported over here at Pokaliane, and I think the rest I don't see any markings. So this is where this instance is. There is no indication that the Russians will actually launch an attack into the Kharkiv fronts anytime yet. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry also did not mention any threat of any attack from the north over in the Chernihiv region or Sumy region or from Belarus. So far, the Ukrainians are not reporting any of such things. So it's unlikely that the Russians are going to be attempting any northern offensive just yet. So anyway, this is the summary for the day of 272 for the 22nd of November. And if you have not checked out the description below, it's time to check it out. Please press the like button. We haven't had enough like buttons being pressed nowadays, so it's time to press it, and I'll see you in the next update.